Welcome to another PC Sportscards live grading review. This is Josh with PC Sportscards. If you haven't checked out our videos before, we do a lot of PSA reveals, BGS reveals, cards that people are sending in for grading, and a lot of other stuff like that. Today we're doing a review of 18 cards that came in for Josh's $1,000 challenge. So far I spent about $800 reviewing a lot of the cards, sent about 12 cards in so far for grading. See how many are going to come out of here. Go through our process of reviewing cards to send them in. If you like that kind of stuff, like PSA reveals, all that kind of information, you see value in what we're saying, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to get alerts every time we post a new video, which we're going to be doing a lot of them. So, as you can see, we have our lights set up. I actually changed something today. I turned the lights off in the office to get a little bit darker so I could look at the cards a little bit closer because I think I put a lot of cards in last time, and I'm just not sure. So we're going to go through all the cards. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet. I made some changes to it. The first card up, we have a Bryce Harper, Heart of the City. This card was like $4.50, and a PSA 10 goes for $70. They're refractors, they're Topps Chrome, they're generally relatively easy grades. Didn't look the card over that well when I was looking on eBay, which was my fault, because when I got the card in, I saw this damaged back corner. That is bad. Then I went to eBay. There's no note in the description, but you could definitely see the bad corner on the card. In general, other than that one issue, the card is in good condition. That's going to make it a 7 or an 8. I might get super lucky and get a 9, but it's just not worth sending in. So chalk this up to the loss column. Not on the seller. This one's on me. Everybody makes mistakes. So I'm going to just take a quick note that the damaged corner, card note, damaged back corner. And I will see what I do with that card down the road. Probably put it into a dollar box or something down the road it shows. Next up, we got an Elway red mosaic. You know that I like all the color mosaic stuff, especially Hall of Famers. So let's see what we got here. So if I quickly, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quickly zoom out, and I hope you can see my light. Nope, you can't. So I have one light right here, and one LED light right here. And those lights are going to give me all the light that I need to review the cards that I'm going to send in or not send in. I may get something that's not as pixelated down the road, but these kinds of lights normally do a really good job anyway. No issues on the back. That's nothing. And like I said, we've had a lot of comments like, why don't you wear gloves? I've never, ever, ever worn a glove when I'm evaluating cards. I like being able to touch the card and feel the card. I feel like I have a better grip on the card that way. And guys, I'm pretty sure that this has been said publicly, but even if it hasn't, both PSA and BGS have told us that they wipe the cards of fingerprints and debris and stuff like that. So this one is going to go in for grading. I'm going to say this is going to be a 10, this Elway. I think I'm off on my lines here because this is supposed to be... yeah, I'm off on my lines. Crease on back, damage, back corner, and delete. Okay. So they're going to wipe off any like fingerprints or anything like that. What I use the microfibers for is to A, give it its best presentation, which I think is important, and B, wipe off what I'm not sure of. Like, so if I think it's debris and I'm not sure if it's a mark or something like that, I can wipe it off and get a better look at it. But I'm not worried about fingerprints being on the card. And yes, you have seen fingerprints. Nothing wrong with the front of this card. You have seen fingerprints on cards. I think that happens in the slabbing process more than anything. I don't think that actually affects the grade. See, there's a little fingerprint there. I'll wipe it off. This card looks really clean, though. This card's very clean. And I'll always give a good wipe, even though I know that PSA or BGS is going to wipe it. I will always wipe it anyway. But the grading companies will wipe the cards off. And if you notice, I'm holding it with the meat of my fingers meat of my fingers, not my fingertips, and on the sides. And I never actually touch the card with my fingertips. So you can look again. The only fingerprints that we have here are on the savers. These are PC Sportscards logoed savers. If you want to pick them up, you can email us, groupsubs@pcsportscards.com. This Brees Hall was a freebie that was given to us. I haven't looked up. This came with the red yellow mosaic. I haven't looked up any values on it. I'm gonna put it on the side. Put it with the pile of stuff that I'm not grading, and just see if it might be worth grading down the road. But not a card I'm gonna look at right now today. All right, we got a Trout. As you guys know, I love me some Trout. All right, so we got 2 cards that are going in so far. Got the Elway. We got the Brees. All right, I love me grading Trout. Just always see money in it, especially colors. Somehow I won this card real cheap. I won this one for $19. And when I won this card, I actually took advantage of the seller's combined shipping policy and was able to get an Ohtani purple, which I paid $1 more than I would have paid. I bid more than I would have paid normally because I had won this blue Trout. Since I was getting additional shipping for free, I just decided to pay a couple bucks more and get the card. This is another one that I think is an easy gem. I also love when sellers send cards with the notched out penny sleeves. I think we're actually going to be getting those to make available for sale as well. I think those are a real big advantage. All right, we got another Ohtani. We got Ohtani purple this time. We had the Trout blue, the Ohtani purple. Again, I see some stuff on the card, and I just want to make sure it's nothing serious. So I'm going to give it a wipe, and it disappeared. That means it was probably just dust or debris. But it could be an actual card issue. We have one dimple down here. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, you can see it there. One little dimple there. That's not going to kill the grade. Nothing bad on the back. Corners aren't the super sharpest, but since they're white and they're relatively easy, really good thick stock for this, both are going in. The problem with dimples are a problem when lines are coming out of the dimples. I've heard this directly from graders. Dimples are a problem when there are lines coming out of the dimples. When it's just a little notch, it's not that big of a deal. Another Trout. This one, the centering's not great. I did see that when I was evaluating the card on eBay. But it's a cool design. And I like the card in general. And I don't think a lot of people are grading this card. I didn't see a lot graded. 2021 Topps Chrome insert. I love grading inserts. It's that old heritage design. Got a little fingerprint on the top there. Let's wipe that off. Another one, sending it in. 3 in a row. There is a chance that some of these get 9s. There's no question about it. I don't see any major flaws, so I'm sending it in. I think they should all be 10s. I think all 3 of those 10s. So we got 10, 10, and another 10. All right. Hockey, guys. Not my sport. Not my sport, but I leverage people that I know in the hobby and asked them who to buy. Jack Quinn was one of the 3 guys they said to buy. They also told me the major problem with Young Guns this year is the top edge. There aren't a lot of surface issues, and this card is super, super clean on the front. So I'm going to look really closely at the top edge because I know that's what the known problems are. Still looking over the whole back. I don't see anything wrong with this card. Not for nothing. These are cards. I'm going to send this one to PSA. I want to start rolling in the money. I want to start getting it going quickly. So I'm going to send it to PSA. But after a while, if I could keep on picking these up, I might start sending some of those to BGS because they are super clean. All right, we got another one. Received 10 for the Quinn. If I'm right on these, I'm going to be way ahead on my numbers. All right. The next 5 cards we picked up from the same seller. Again, took advantage of combined shipping. Halliburton's been absolutely on fire. This is the NBA debut, not the real rookie card. I think it ended up costing me $5.50. I'm going to guess it's 30 plus as a PSA 10. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Super clean again. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. It looks good. Another one. They're going in. Guys, I'm very happy if people aren't competing with me on eBay for cards, but there's some clean stuff out there. So far, in all the cards that we've submitted, there's only one that had an actual major flaw. D-Hop, probably not the hottest name anymore, but one of the best receivers for the last decade. This is a pink disco, or pink fast break if it was a basketball card. We definitely have a damaged top edge over there that I did not see in the picture. I would still say that card's an 8 or a 9, so I'm not that upset about it. It's one of the cards that I definitely wanted, but I cannot grade. This one won't go in for grading. Let me see if I can get a really good shot of that for you, so you can see the top edge. It's weird because the camera sees something different than what my eye sees, so I gotta like tilt it twice. Really tough to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. But, trust me, this one's not worth grading. And this is one that I'm going to put in a show for like 15 or 20 bucks. Break even on it. Might send this stuff to ComC. I don't know. Don't have to sell them all on eBay. I'd prefer to sell them all on eBay for all the transparency. But, like, you guys go to shows also. You guys walk around at shows. Maybe I'll just make like a show box. This is definitely one that I wanted. I love A.J. Brown. I don't love these short prints, but I know it's a low pop card, so if this is clean. I'm not loving this corner right here. I'm going to look a little closer. All right. I can't really tell with how I'm looking at it right now. So this is the one. This is one that I really want to grade this card. Like, I have a mental lock on wanting to send this card in. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile, and I'll probably look it over again after the live so I can get a little bit better view on it. I do have like a magnifying lamp. Maybe I'll bring that in so I can show you guys what that is. That helps me look stuff over. Again, this is the 4th card out of 5 from the big seller on eBay. Only one worth grading so far for sure. Let's see if the angle can show me something. All right, everything on the back looks good. I love grading Luka stuff. Another really good one. Wipe this down, send this in. Can't imagine a Luka yellow selling for under 30 bucks. And again, this one was $7.25. So I'll be into it for a call at $30. I can't imagine it not making money for me. Last one up. J-Rod, one of his million Sapphire cards, but J-Rod stuff is absolutely torching right now. So I wanted this card. This was the last one that I got when I was buying from them. I bid on like 4 or 5 days worth of auctions and won 4 or 5 cards. All right, let's see. I was a little surprised to see this with them because this is the kind of card that I would think that most people would want to grade. Actually, all the stuff that I bought are things that most people want to grade. But I also think that a lot of people over-evaluate cards when sending them in. So if they see one like super minor thing, like, oh, not a 10. And we're not going for pristine 10s here, boys and girls. We're going for PSA 10s. Gem Mint cards are Gem Mint cards. All right, another one. Definitely going into the grading pile. So from the big seller, I got 3 that I think are worth grading. 1 that had obvious damage where it's not, and 1 I want to look over a little closer. Honestly, the A.J. Brown I probably should not send in for grading. It might get a 9, might get an 8. I don't know, but I just want to. All right, obviously we see the centering on this card is not great. This was $1. I added it again. I added it on to an order for a McDavid. I'm not going to send this in. The back is really clean. Like, I could send this in and hope that they don't hit. You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll test the centering on this. I'm going to send this in a separate submission from the other one, though. From the other hockey card. This is not something that I recommend sending in. I'm going to put this in the borderline pile. I think there's a lot of money in it if it grades. That's why I want to do it. But I know I'm just wasting money at that point. But it's in the maybe pile. This is the one that I wanted. McDavid refractory card. They call it Rainbow for hockey. This is something that was $4. And I think if it's clean, if it's a PSA 10, I think I'll get 75 plus for it. Super clean on the back. Check it at both angles. Some faint print lines on it, but that stuff just doesn't matter on a card. All right. Sometimes it does if there's tons of them, but like if you could barely see them under this angled light, they're fine. McDavid going to grading. All right. Another one that I think has huge upside. I actually bought 2 of these. Only one came in so far. This is another time I rushed hitting an offer and I hit the wrong button, but I didn't back out of a deal. All right, we got Natani. I love when there's painter's tape on. It's so much easier to come out. We did one of these on our one of our reveal videos, and that's actually what made me look at it. We have a Sterling continuity. So this is a rookie Otani refractor. There's like 800 7 or 800 PSA 10s already, and this card still sells for a big premium. It's like a 70 or 80% PSA 10 rate. This one corner doesn't look great, but I'm going to look at it again. So that one corner, this top corner is giving me a little bit of agita in my head. But I also think, so what I do is I'm like, oh, this card, I like everything about it except for one thing. And then I know that it has a high gem rate. So I'm going to send it in because it has a high gem rate. And maybe it's a common thing that I haven't seen on this card or other cards like it. And maybe I'll get my 10. Because a 10 of this card is huge. And a 9 isn't that big of a loss. So it's definitely a gamble on that one. Not 100%. But I'm going to take a note. You know what? Let me take the note right now. Top left corner. Authority, continuity. Top left corner issue. I'm going to say borderline 9, 10. I know I don't have the spreadsheet up right now on the screen. I'm just talking to myself while I write it. Got 2 more cards. So these cards, these 2 Otanis actually came in a lot that I bought on Blowout. The lot was $16. It had these 2 cards, which are the main cards that I wanted. I asked the person before I bought it if they were clean, because if these grade, they're worth it. And then the rest of it was like 50 other cards. It was a 16-card Topps Chrome pink lot. And the rest of the cards are like good COM-C, good for a show, put in a box, that kind of stuff. So if I could make money on these 2, and then everything else is a bonus, it's worth it. Not seeing any issues here. Which also makes me feel good, especially on Blowout. When I'm buying raw stuff, I definitely make sure I actually will block people that, or put a block list together of people that I won't buy raw from ever again, because they sell only rejects, only grading rejects. You may think that we sell only grading rejects, but that's not true. We sell a lot of stuff that we just don't think is worth grading. Yeah, the top of this card is effed. It looks like it's look at the centering. Look at the centering. So this is actually the bottom of another card. Look how low the centering is here. That's actually the bottom of another card. So obviously we're not sending this card in. A little annoyed. Card still looks nice, but definitely not worth grading. So, as you can see by our piles, we have 3 cards that we're not sending in, 2 cards that are maybes, and our grading pile is nice and stacked again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards that we're definitely sending in for grading out of 17 that we looked at. I'll take 66% submit rate all day long, and as long as I go 80% on my submit rate, I'm making a lot of money. So, another video down, another review down. We have a bunch more coming in, so we should have another review video later this week. We should also have a video from Zach of him breaking his case. Also, guys, one more thing I wanted to show you. Oh, never mind. I can't bring it up right now because, actually, you know what? Maybe. All right, so we have our spreadsheets up here. You can see all of our purchases. We also have a front sheet now. We have total purchases up here. I'm going to start breaking it down by total purchase by player, total purchase by sport. And once I finish those general formulas, I'm going to make it shareable and available for every single person to get. And whenever I update it, I'm going to update a used copy and update a blank copy. And I'm going to always update and make the spreadsheet available so you guys can use it and you guys can follow along. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys see value in what we're doing, tell another friend, show it to a friend, see if they like it. Also, subscribe, comment, like, dislike, whatever you want, and look forward to doing more of these videos. And in the next couple weeks, start getting stuff back, selling it. We're almost at our budget, so it's going to be a little rough until we sell some stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Look forward to making more of these. Thanks so much, guys.